I'll be teaching you how to change a wheel and replace it with a different wheel. The first things you're going to need is a jack stand, a jack, a 4-way, gloves, and protective eyewear. The next thing you're going to need to do is go underneath the car, find a reliable place to jack it up. Where I will be jacking it up is right here. You tighten the jack handle to the right to tighten it. Next, you just get it a little tight up in the air and you start taking off the lug nuts. Next, you take your traditional 4-way and find the right size on it. So which is going to be this size right here, where it has very little play. And twist to the left, and you're going to need a lot of force to do this. So what I do is take my right hand and my right foot, because I'm right-handed, twist backwards, and loosen the lug nut. Since the car is still on the ground, you only want to loosen it a little bit before and then you jack it up. You continue doing this with all 5 lug nuts. Next, you're going to want to go inside the vehicle and make sure it's in park. Vehicle's in park, and lift the e-brake, which is also known as the emergency brake, so the car will not roll when you jack it up. To show how safe a jack stand actually is, if the jack was to fall right now, the car will not hit the ground and crush you. After all the lug nuts have been broken loose, you then jack up the vehicle to where the tire is no longer touching the ground. Then you proceed to put the jack stand underneath where you are safe, and if the jack does fall, it will not kill you or crush you. This is for safety, but if you do not have a jack stand, you can still change your wheel. Now you will take out the lug nut completely. It's best to make sure you're going completely straight when you're on the lug nut so that the little grooves do not strip out, and then it makes for a bad day. When you get to the last lug nut, you'll notice the wheel falls off the car. And then move it out the way and decide which wheel you're going to put on next, which will be this wheel right here. This wheel has universal lug patterns, so you have to find which side is the right size, which this one right here is not the right size because the bolt holes do not line up. Then you move it to the side, which is right here. They line up correctly. You then get your 4-way, because I cannot reach my fingers in there, and tighten so the wheel will hold while you grab the rest of your lug nuts. Like that. Then you line up the wheel and add another lug nut inside and tighten to the right. After you have all of the 5 lug nuts, because this is a 5-lug car. Some vehicles have 4, 6, 8. You then get them pretty tight and drop your jacks in by clicking this to the up position and lower your jack slowly. Then I double check my lug nuts to make sure they're tight enough by putting the 4-way back on and tighten even more so the wheel does not fall off the vehicle. I highly recommend wearing clothes you don't care about because your hands get dirty, as you can see, working on cars. This is what it looks like when it's done. And we will be changing all 4 of these today so that they match. And just make sure that your lugs are tight enough where you go down the road and there's not much give left, so you don't lose your wheel or lose lug nuts on the way. When tightening lug nuts at the end, the pattern I tighten is across from one another. So here, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. This makes it where all the lug nuts are tightened equally. I changed the wheels for my mom's Volkswagen Bug. This is what they look like on one side. I still have one side to go, but this is done pretty quickly. Anybody could do it, as long as you got enough strength to loosen up the lug nuts. You can tighten them back on pretty well. You should be good. But I'm going to finish this other side. Change a rim on a car that has a hubcap. You can't reach the lug nuts in the back, so what you do is you get a screwdriver and you put it in the back of the hubcap. You pry on a little bit, get your fingers in there, and just like that, it's off. You're good, and then now you can change the rim. And when putting it back on, you find the little spot on the hubcap right there that goes for the valve stem, and then you line it up like this right here. You can see the valve, and you snap it back on by adding a little bit of pressure and smacking it. That's it. This is the final result. All 4 wheels have been changed. It's always best when you're done to run around and check every single lug nut to make sure they're all really tight, and then you're done. Put everything away and you drive. Thank you for watching my video. Bye.